What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 264 of Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone, brought to you by Solozo. And today, we're super excited about our guest, who has a little bit of feedback. So if you hear anything in the background, we apologize. But we're going to be talking with Sammy Akthar. He's the founder of Regrow Media. He's joining us from India, staying up late over there to talk with us. So we're excited about that. But we're going to be talking about Sammy's story, how he started selling on Amazon, and now how he's helping others with his agency. So, Sammy, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for inviting me, first of all. I'm doing great. How about you?
We are fantastic, and we appreciate you staying up late over there to talk with us. We're excited to hear your story. We always love hearing stories of people who have prospered in the Amazon space, launched successful products, and how they did it, and then moving on to helping others, and putting helping others in the community with content and an agency and everything that you're doing. So, Sammy, why don't you just tell us a little about how you got into the space in the first place and your journey so far?
Yeah, I would love to. So, my name is Sammy Akthar. I started as a seller, Amazon seller, on the year 2017. I was in my college days back then, almost on the second year. I was pursuing engineering. So, started as a seller, ran my first brand for almost 1.5 years, scaled that to $600,000 a year, and exited that. And then we started forming our agency, which is known as Regrow Media. It is a full service Amazon marketing agency. Now we are trying to help brands to just free up some of their time, and we try to help them what we do the best. So we are managing currently like 60 plus brands with 35 plus team members. That is how and what we are doing right now.
Sammy, how did you find Amazon FBA, and how did you find selling on Amazon? What was that like discovery like when you first got into this niche?
Yeah, so it was kind of a crazy story for me. So I was in my college, and there was a strange incident that happened with me. So back then, when I was in the college, my father had an accident and he passed away. So he was the one who was feeding the whole family, my mother and my sister. And once he passed away, the entire responsibility of the family came on my head. So I had to start somewhere, right? So that came as an option. I was looking at Amazon FBA kind of an option to start, but something wasn't there. Something wasn't pushing me to start. And after that incident, I jumped into it, had some losses with few of the products. 3 to 4 products was a huge loss for me, but obviously we learned a lot from that losses, and then launched the fifth product and successfully scaled it and launched multiple products on the same product line. So that is where we got the idea about Amazon FBA. Obviously, 2017. Before that as well, Amazon FBA was doing really good. So that was where we started.
What were some of those like early products that you launched? Like for me, mine was like a dog shedding brush and like a shock collar and training collars. I think Dustin had a few failures himself.
Oh yeah.
What were some of those early products you did?
Yeah, the first product I did was a mop holder. So it is a plastic looking thing that sticks on a wall, and we hang our mops, our sweeps, all those on that. So that was the first product I did. The second product I did, I moved a little bit around. I launched an baby niche. So it was a baby bed rail. So a kind of railing that goes on the side of a bed so that the baby cannot fall. So that was the second product. It was a big product, costed a lot. Entire shipment was through sea, and I lost a lot because the cost was around $25 per unit. So that was few experiences that I had.
When you got started on Amazon, was it the United States marketplace? Did you do the UK marketplace? What marketplace did you get started in?
Actually, I started in Indian marketplace. So at that time, that marketplace was almost new. FBA
Yeah,
just started rolling out in India, and that is when I took advantage of that FBA.
I was going to
nice.
ask
You
that.
started early. You were one of like the first people to start on that marketplace.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you still sell? Is it exclusively in the Indian marketplace, or do you sell in the US now or anywhere else?
No, I sell in India right now. So we launched a brand on the name of The Ugly Coffee. So it is a coffee brand where we added some specific vitamins and minerals specific to male body, specific to female body. Two products are there. One is a male coffee, one is a female coffee. In that coffee, we kind of went into a different route. We went into an investment route. We raised the first round of funding. We raised 100 at the valuation of $150,000. Now we are going for the second round as well. The products are in manufacturing. It took a lot of time. So that is the brand currently I'm invested in and working on.
Wow. So is that the brand that you exited and you retained ownership?
No,
Or
that brand is completely different. This is a new brand that I started. And that brand was in home and kitchen that I exited. This brand is completely different.
When you started selling on Amazon, did you do this just like solopreneur, just by yourself, or did you bring in some buddies or outside capital, or was this all just bootstrapped with just with you, just doing it all on your own?
Yeah, strangely, when I started with the fees of my semester. Okay, so that is how I started. So I started with the fees of my semester and brought in the first product. Obviously, that was a loss. Then I went and approached some of my friends, and strangely, one of them became one of the partner in that business. And then we again joined up capital and launched the second and third product. So that is how it happened.
so you launched on the Indian marketplace, and I'm curious what can you tell us of a lot of our audience is in the Europe and the United States. Can you talk about the challenges that you faced when you launched? Obviously, you had a couple products fail,
Yeah.
but were there any challenges with like how you were sourcing your products? Any logistics challenges that happen in the Indian marketplace, or what the competition looks like? Is it getting more crowded, or were you able to enter these niches easily? Would love some of your perspective on what it's like to sell in the Indian marketplace.
Yeah. So first of all, the competition is fairly good. I mean, it is not so much crazy, but still it is good. But again, if you want to enter into supplements, it is still same as US. Again, the next thing is the logistic part. So obviously in US, when you get a product from China, it takes 50, 60 days. But for India, it takes 20 to 30 days since we are very close to China. So that was not a challenge for us. And even that was a good thing for us because it takes 20, 30 days. And by year, it takes around the same, like 7 days. So logistic wasn't a problem, as that was India, China, that thing was happening. Like shipping is very easy. The time period is very easy. So logistic way, we didn't face any issues. Obviously, the first thing is that we faced was when we launched the first product, the customer quality in India, I mean, towards a lower price product is not that good. You get a lot of returns when you start selling good numbers. But once you move into the higher price range, trying to segment to the premium audience, then the return rates obviously reduces. So that was a challenge that we faced because when we launched our product, obviously it was at the lower price. We didn't had reviews, and that is the only challenge that we face about the returns.
What is your launch strategy? You talked about just launching some products there. When you get a new product, what I love about this space is the way Dustin
Mhm.
launches products is going to be different than the way I launch a product, and different between the way you launch a product. What's your launch strategy look like? What do you do when you launch a product?
Yeah, so the launch method on 2017 was completely different from now. Now,
For
when we
sure.
launch a client's product, we use a lot of methods. Like we love to send signals from different traffic sources. We connect Pixel Me, Amazon attribution. We connect with brand referral bonus. All these are available right now. But when we started on 2017, we had very few options. Hardly we can be able to do Google Ads and PPC campaigns. That was the only option that we had. So yeah, I remember I didn't even start Google Ads as well. I only started with I think normal PPC campaigns with running only exact match and few automatic campaigns. So that was a simple strategy. Obviously, 2017 market was very easy to enter. Not right now. Right now, we need a lot of different techniques.
So, can you talk about what the Amazon marketplace in general looks like in India? I mean, is it has it been growing? I mean, when did they launch? The Amazon launched just before 2017, right? It wasn't too
Yeah,
long before that when they launched.
2015, I guess. I guess 2015 or 16 they have launched in India,
And
and yeah.
and so how big of a marketplace is it there? I mean, is there another Amazon-like e-commerce marketplace in India that is bigger or smaller, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so Amazon entered Indian marketplace first. Then after a few years, there's another marketplace kind of on the same size called Flipkart, which is owned by Walmart right now. So those two are the kind of main competitors in India. Both of them comparatively share the same market share. And yeah, those are the two.
What's Flipkart for people? Because we've heard of it, but like, what's it compared to? What is it? How's it different than Amazon, or is it different?
Yeah, it is not at all different. If I say it is comparatively the same, uh, there is no such changes like eBay and Amazon. There were still some changes, but
Yeah.
Flipkart and Amazon, there is you can hardly differentiate them. Only the names are different, and obviously Flipkart is still new. They have a lot of things to be released in terms of helping sellers, because in Amazon we get a lot of data that we can see. In Flipkart, even if I talk about ads, they have only very few options like automatic kind of things. So Flipkart has a lot more way to go in terms of helping sellers and bringing out the data so that seller can make more data driven decisions. But still, it is a kind of taking a good amount of market share comparatively with Amazon.
Sounds like Walmart here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Very similar. Do you also sell on Flipkart? Have you expanded your brand to that marketplace as well?
No, actually, it would be strange, but Flipkart, we don't like the customer quality. So, what we have observed is private label brands really work good with Amazon. But when the brand is very famous and has good brand presence outside of the marketplace, then it works really good in Flipkart. There are certain categories like clothing, which we don't like to enter. Those kind of category works good in Flipkart, but the customer quality we personally didn't liked it because our products didn't work well. We tested that, but it doesn't work that well, so we kind of switched to only one platform and Amazon.
Now, there is a lot of manufacturing in India. And I know that it's in certain categories that they specialize in. But you went and you got your products sourced from China. Have you looked into expanding or launching new brands that are native manufactured in India?
Yeah, so I haven't, and we have launched, I think, one product from India. It is called floating self, which is made of macrame. So white macrame, floating self. That is a product that we launched that did well. Again, since it was white, since it was returnable, so price range was lower. So we were facing a lot of return issues. But I would give you an example. We have one client who is selling from India to USA. They are selling medieval products. You know those knight costumes, those armor helmets and all. So they sell those kind of products, and they're doing close to $4 million a year. So there's certain goods like wood and iron goods which work really well if you want to get it from India. Not so many products are there which are good in India, but still there are some niches. Maybe this iron products or steel products, some wood products. Those works well in UK, US, UK, sourced from India.
So wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I gotta show. I want to bring up something to make sure that I'm right. So you're telling me there's a guy selling medieval helmets, and he does it like 4 million a year, and he's selling these type of things right here. For those of you listening, I'm sharing my screen. He's selling these things, these little helmets, these.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, look at this. So
That's
there goes to show you. You could sell anything on Amazon. And this guy's selling $4 million. We've been making it too hard, Dustin. We've been making it too hard.
I know that. You know, in 10 years of product research, I have yet to land on medieval helmets.
Medieval helmets. I mean, that goes to show you. Just go ahead and sell those.
It's amazing. I mean, this is why I love the space also, because the opportunity is absolutely endless. I mean, in what you can do. Um, so I want to go a little bit back to, your story, because you were successful. You went through all the growing pains that we all go through when we're learning how to sell and be successful. And you persevered, you stuck through, you went through your losses, you cut your losses, and, took your learnings and moved on, which is fantastic. But then you took the next step, which, a lot of people in this space, they realize, hey, I know now I've acquired this knowledge. I can help other people. And you started your agency to help other people. What made you want to do that? Because it's a different animal now. It's not your capital. It's and you're having to help coach and train and mentor others and work on their business, but it's still it's their money, it's their brand, it's their love. So it's a different animal than doing your own. I mean, you can screw up your own, and you can only yell at yourself. But when you win it, what made you want to make that jump to the agency model where you're helping others?
Yeah, so I started on 2017, and at the same time, almost 1 year after that, I started to document my whole process. Whether I was making loss or profit, I started documenting the whole process on my YouTube channel and started to put and show my sales, how much I'm doing, what are the strategies I'm using, all those things. And strangely, doing that consistently, I was doing for like 3 to 6 months. After that, I started getting emails from brand owners approaching me to take their account and trying to help them. So that is where it began. I started as a single person, started handling 3 to 4 accounts, and quickly realized it is going to be much more harder than I thought. And it was taking a lot of my time, because constantly, if you are handling 4 accounts alone, and those are the solopreneurs whose brands are those, they constantly call you trying to get updates. So that was kind of getting a headache for me. So then I switched that, yes, no, this is not the thing that I can do alone. So I switched that and I got a co-founder in it. Then we are now at 35 plus with the team size, and we are managing around 60 plus brands worldwide. So yeah, it started with the YouTube channel. Kind of the interest grew from there. Got emails of clients, and now we are managing successfully.
That's awesome.
What do you do? What's your typical like onboarding of a client look like? If a brand comes to you, there's so many agencies out there. And she didn't get that. But what's that look like? What's that look like with a new brand comes? What's your onboarding process look like?
Yeah, so generally we take those accounts which are doing minimum $5,000 a month in ad spend, and then the next thing is comes what the client's goal is, what the brand's goal is. We kind of look at their few reports, how they were performing, which are the top performing A signs. Obviously, there is a avatar that we look for, a potential clients avatar, which we generally try to find those kind of clients where the conversion rate are really good, the CTR is really good, but oftentimes it is very hard. We often have to get and then try to improve their listings and get to the conversion we deserve. So generally, it starts with observing the reports, auditing their accounts, how optimized their listings are in terms of their images, their copy, their backends, how well they're putting their keywords. And then we give them a report. Our team does a sign level audit. We do it through a video format. We share it to them. If they like it, then we proceed forward with the accounts. Then the first month, generally, it will be a mutual like back and forth. We kind of understand their account. The first month entirely goes on understanding their account, because each account behaves completely different. There will be some campaigns, some ad types that will work for home and kitchen brand, whereas there will be some ad types which will be completely different if it is a home decor brand. So the first month completely goes on observing how and which are performing, constant testing and trialing. That is how it went. And from there, we start optimizing. We look at SEO, very high importance, because if we are getting one sale through PPC, we should aim at getting 4 sales organically in the next 3 months. And maximum of the times, what we have seen is clients or brands don't focus a lot in listing optimization, and that is what brings their conversion rate down.
Yeah,
So
you
that is
that's a big thing. And I'll pause you there real quick because I was talking to kind of bring this full circle. I was talking to a brand
Mhm.
and they're like, we're bidding, 10, 12, $15 on this keyword, but they're not getting top of search placement. And they're like, we're even doing 900%. So finally I was like, okay, what is your unit session percentage on that particular ASIN? And I didn't get an answer. Like they were just completely silent. He's like, I don't even know what that means. I'm like, okay, Amazon, if your unit session percentage is low and your competitors are converting better, why would
Mhm.
Amazon
Yeah.
put you outbid your competitors, even though you're going to pay more when your listing doesn't convert as well? He's like, so my listing has to convert better. I'm like, yeah, you need to get better images, a better title, because your unit percentage, and to go find out, we looked at it, their percentage was like 8%, which is really low. Like that's really low. I normally, and Sammy, you could chime in here. Like I normally like 15 to 20. Is that where you're
Yeah.
sitting around? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Generally,
15
when
to
the
20 is a good number.
yeah, exactly.
So, a question on SEO that I have, and this may be a naive question since we're in the U.S. and spend a lot of our time on the
Mhm.
U.S. marketplace, but there's a lot of languages in India, and I don't know. There's probably a predominant one, or there's maybe a
Yeah.
national one that's all. But how does that work? I mean, is Amazon in India all the same language, or do you have to do SEO to hit people that potentially speak different languages?
Yeah, in India, there is one very prevalent language called Hindi, Hindi. So that is probably the second most spoken language in India. And how we take advantage of it, we often get keywords which are in Hindi. And in Amazon have that option where people can search in that language as well. So we obviously have to put that language in the backend as well. So where we generally put that language is in the alt text. So we get 99 to 100 characters in the alt text. So we generally put in there, and that is how we generally try to index for those keywords as well, those which are searched in the Hindi language. Same, I think, when we handle US clients as well, we try to put Spanish language keywords in the backend in the alt text as well.
And so the number one, you said that's the number two language, is number one English? Is that what everyone searches in,
Number
or
one is English. Yeah.
interesting?
That's pretty
Learn-
good. I didn't,
Yeah, learn something new. But I mean, that's something that we talk about, like you said, using Spanish in your alt text and making sure that if they do turn on the translate on Amazon, that it's going to actually be readable, that it's written in a way that they can understand or hits the nuances of the language. And I'm sure that's very similar in the Indian marketplace.
Yeah, funny thing is, when we turn in Amazon.com to Spanish, sometimes the words are not, the vocabulary is not proper. So
Right.
oftentimes what we have to do for our clients is trying to say Amazon that, listen, when we try to convert, this is not the proper wording. We need to change it. So that happened a lot of times. And we need to do that by constant testing with a lot of listings, because Amazon still, it is algorithm. It cannot uh, translate completely. There is some vocabulary that misses out.
Makes sense. Yeah. I mean, SEO is huge. There's no question. It's interesting that that's where you come at it first, is seeing how you can just improve the conversion rate. Because then everything else, obviously, if the conversion rate's bad, PPC is not going to work right.
Yeah.
It's going to look worse than it actually is because the listing's not converting. And then where do you go? Where do you go from there? So I mean, you've got a new client. You've made sure that you're buttoning up the things that you can do right away. How can we get this listing to convert better with everything? Reviews, SEO. Are we pricing optimally for the competition here? Then what are some of the next steps you take to get those incremental increases in growth? I mean, are you running deals? Are you running coupons? Are you starting outside traffic? Do you launch a D2C website for them? How do you continue to grow a brand?
Yeah, so first step that we did was, obviously we tell to the clients that, listen, we are advertisers. Our goal is to bring traffic. We can't force your customer to buy your product. It is your listings job to convert them. So at first, what we do is we try to get as much reports as possible. First, starting with the advertised product report to find out which were the top 10 or 20 best performing AA signs through ads. Trying to get the conversion rate through ads, the CTR through ads. Now, CTR and conversion rate, we look this two data very carefully. CTR, let's assume the CTR is much below 0.4%. So we kind of have a threshold of 0.4% that if it is lower than that, that means our ads is not at all performing. If the ad is not at all performing, then we have to look at first is the targeting. Whether we're targeting to the right audience, whether the keywords that we're using are relevant enough or not. Then we look at whether the main image, is it good enough the customer can just in 5 seconds can understand with what product they're getting or not. We kind of compare with the other competitors. Also, there are tools like PickFu that can help to do that. Then the reviews, the ratings. Now Amazon shows the rating numbers, right? If it is 4.7, it shows 4.7. Previously, it wasn't like that. So what is that? Is it the reviews compared to the competitor is very less, or what it is? Then it goes to the pricing. So these are the 3 things or 4 things that are the main thing that influences the CTR. Then let's assume the CTR is good. We are getting enough sessions, we are getting enough impressions. Then it is the conversion rate. Let's assume when the listing is new, we have a general threshold of 8%, the conversion rate through ads. So if that is below 8%, then we look at, okay, we need to look at the images, the rest images. Are they showing the customer avatar in the image? Because now with brand analytics, we also get the demographics. Who are the customers that purchasing our product? It is a male or female? What is the age group? Then we try to see that whether the brand is already using that or not. How are their infographics constructed? Whether they're showing lifestyle images or not. The product video, how well it is, or whether it is just a slideshow video. Then moving to the bottom, we don't give bullet points so much importance other than SEO purpose, because right now as a customer, I don't read bullet points. So then moving to the we have the virtual bundles. I'll talk about that later on. Then we have the brand story, because in brand story we get clickable options. We can showcase our other products there. Same as A+ content as well. The comparison chart, the Q&A section. Q&A section is probably the only part where customer and seller can interact with each other like a forum. We also can upload videos there as well. Then the first page reviews, because in mobiles we can see like 4 to 5 reviews. For seeing the rest, we have to click see all reviews. In desktop, we probably see 7 to 8 reviews. And those 7 to 8 reviews, previously what used to happen, the most helpful voted review used to show there. Now, the most recent reviews show up. So that is something that we have to look at. And obviously, if in the first page we have a negative review, that is going to impact our conversion rate a lot. So these are the things that we look at in order to increase the conversion rate. And everything goes well, the conversion rate should increase. Also, talking about virtual bundles, it is very important because it pushes down the product ads by 1-fold. So how we generally use this is we download a report called Purchase Product Report, where Amazon gives us that, okay, you are advertising on this AA sign, but customer, instead of purchasing this AA sign, they are purchasing another AA signs from your catalog. So we kind of get that, okay, if they're clicking on this ad but not purchasing this product, instead they're purchasing this product, what are the frequency of buying? Then based on that higher to lower frequency, we get 5 AA signs and we put it on that AA sign as a virtual bundle. Obviously, the sales report in virtual bundle is not satisfactory. We don't get a lot of sales, but still it drives down the product ads and pushes this down. So those are the things that sellers can also use to increase the conversion rate as well.
That's good stuff. And for anybody who's listening that doesn't understand what you're talking about with the product ads, when you look at a listing and you just scroll down, right below the bullet points essentially is a whole bunch of paid ads of competing products that are targeting you. And so that can steal a lot of traffic from your listing, especially if those competitors have some sort of advantage over you, a cheaper price point, more reviews, whatever. And when you're saying that you add these virtual bundles, those go in that spot and shove the product ads down basically one more row. So it keeps it as best as possible away from the eyes of the shopper. And they're seeing your other catalog too, which is, I mean, that's a great strategy for anybody listening right now to incorporate that. I love it. Man, you're doing
Doing quite a bit.
You're doing a lot. This is for anybody listening. This shows you that if you want to really get into this business, you can put products up there. You can get some sales, but to really get to the next level, you want to be looking at all these things. And the beauty of this is you have access to all the data, and you can make changes based on that data. What's next for you, Sammy? You've been a seller, you've created your business, you've sold it, you've started an agency. What do you look forward to next?
Yeah, so kind of my goal is to be one of the top speaker in Amazon community. So I'm developing that skill to speak a lot right now. Even the product I showed you for one of our client, the medieval helmet, in the last conference I did, I was a speaker invited there. I wore that helmet on the stage. Just try to show.
I saw this. I
what
saw
this
that
product.
with the Sourcing India trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great. I mean, that's just, that's more giving back to the community as well, is speaking, helping other people's businesses grow. Obviously, it's great to showcase your agency as well and the work that you're doing. Your clients that you have right now, are they from all over the world, or are they typically local in India, and you're helping them sell wherever they want to sell? What does that look like?
No, actually, our clients are global right now, from US, UK, Germany. We have Dubai clients as well. If I give a percentage, probably 30% would be from India. The remaining are distributed all over the world.
Such a fun business, such a fun time we live in, that we can work with people all over the world to help them succeed. People are listening to this right now and watching this, and they're curious. Maybe they're starting their business, or they're having some success, but they need some help. How do they get in touch with you? How can they start a conversation with you to see if it's a good fit?
Yeah, people can reach out to us. They can go to www.regrowmedia.com/audit, or simply regrowmedia.com. They can sign up and get a call back from us. Our team will do an audit of your account and see if that is a good fit for us, and we both can work together.
Fantastic. Well, I encourage everyone to do that. Go check out Sammy. Check out his website. We've got that in the show notes. We've had that scrolling across the screen the whole time if you're watching this. Sammy, thanks for joining us and telling us your story. We'll try to get you back on again in the future. Amazon's changing every day. There's always new tactics and new things to do. So we'd love to get you back on and get updated on what you're doing with any future things that come out. So we appreciate it, Sammy.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Dustin. Great to see you guys. Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on.
Yep, absolutely. All right, everybody. That's it for today. We will see you next time. Have a good one.